Hey everybody, part 2 coming up right now of the Hoosac Tunnel and Wilmington Railroad. We're going to Readsboro, Vermont, and then on up into Wilmington, Vermont. Northern terminus of the HT&W. Hoot, toot, and whistle. Stay tuned. Alright, so we came up that back road there from the east portal. And we come up into Readsboro, Vermont. We've crossed the state lines. And we got that nice little culvert. Where we are is the Jack Pines Pirates Trailhead. This right here, this Deerfield down there, that road over there is where we came up. And Readsboro, Vermont is right up there. But we've relocated the existing rail bed where it comes into Readsboro. Now when the Newton brothers built it, it originally just went from the Hoosac Tunnel to Readsboro. So we are very close to finding the original. Ooh, look at what I just found. Oh my goodness. Hey, Terry, come here. Come here. You're going to want to get out of the car for this. Looky, looky. Rails in the ground. We sniffed them out. So, if that is the rail bed, this was a spur that came off of it, or let's flip that card. What if this is the main line and that's a spur going out to, there's a big, tall, high, very scary, ominously looking blue silo looking thing on the side of the mountain there, and we're not quite sure what that is. So we did see on the way in a bridge up there, so let's go shoot that. Okay, that's outside of rail. To outside of rail. 63 3/4 inches. 5 foot 3 3/3 inches. What kind of rail was this? It's not standard. It's not narrow. Huh. It's lost rail beds. And as always, we don't have a textbook that says, "Dear Russ and Terry, this is what you are looking at." What is she floating? She's off the tie. Yeah, off.
I'm not seeing any ties anywhere.
And let's see what we got here. We got real low 3.5 inch bottom to top. So this is definitely old. This is not the main line. This is not the main line, Terry. There's no way this is the main line.
There's no way.
Main line is that one up there. Interesting nonetheless. Let's go find that bridge and see if there's any track up there, any rails up there.
Keeps going down and around.
Okay, so you see Sam right there. Sam is on the road, the highway road that leads down to this Pirates trailhead dealy-do. There's the big, scary, ominous looking silo thing up on the mountaintop. The main line is there up above Sam, going into Readsboro. Main line, HT&W. This one that we found, that we just measured, that's a little stone culvert right there. You can just about see it right there. Goes up and it switches back and it comes down on this one, this lower one. Now this lower one leads down into that plant. So at some point in time, that current modern day electrical plant was being built. This little spur line off the main line is probably what brought in on its own industrial switchers, which was 5'2" to 5'3" gauge, right here, and the switcher engines from this industrial track and that industrial track couldn't go on the main line, so they just strictly ran on site here. What do you think? Think we're getting close? All right, I decided to come back up. We've got ties now. I see ties right there, right there. I decided to come back up because the grade that I'm walking on is getting lower and the grade of that one is getting higher, so the switch has to be right up here. Look at that, how that grew around there. This is an industrial siding spur that led probably to that plant. Was probably used in the building of that plant. All right, here we go. Here's the frog, here's the switch, here's the crossover. Yeah, man, right here. Can you see it? Right here. This tree is doing a lovely job of holding it up. And the switch, oh look. Look, Terry, another broken nose piece. Just hanging here on this tree branch. So the switch has to be right up here. And judging that the fact that the rails are still in place, is the switch still here? Here's the, no. Here's the switch. The exact location. Here, here, here's the switch bar. The tree's doing a great job hiding it. Probably would have been, I don't know. It's gone no matter what. Any, does that extend out? No. Nope. That's it. Yep, right there. That's where it would have been. This hole right here would have had another rod going out. The switch would have been right there where you're standing. Would have been on this downhill side. There's probably switch ties that run out there. Anyway, nonetheless, so yeah, so it would have switched off the main line, come down this track, went up that way, depending on how far that goes. Sam is up on the road running out of sight. Hopefully he doesn't get stolen. And it goes on around the bend there, and then they would have switched, thrown this switch, and it would have gone down that way, down that pretty steep hill, down into that plant. And I was saying, Terry, this is a 5'2", 5'3" gauge. Right. This was probably only in little industrial dinky engines use this to move equipment off the main line. Oh, I can see Sam. Off the main line and onto these switch spurs to go to the plant. So that's our story, and we're sticking to it. All right, we walked the extra mile for you, actually a couple 100 yards. This is a big high steep bank here and a man-made gravel end here. There are ties, one here, one here, one here. Okay, now the reason I'm doing that, hey, look, here's your bumper.
I was going to say, that's the economy bumper.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, that's a boulder, right? That's a bumper that was put here. They've pulled the rails up. The ties are still here. I can feel them squishing under my feet. And let me show you what we found back here. That's the end of the industrial spur. Here you go. Here's some more. Right here. Right here. So this bed was built strictly... Almost went over, kids. There's the end. And there's the end. This is the end of the rails. However, they continued up to that stone boulder bumper. That's the economy model. It's not a Hayes, it's not a Buddha. It's a boulder. And we found, just lying on the ground Is it lying on the ground or laying on the ground? Which one is hypothetically correct? Sitting on the ground, placed, are these rails right here. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, right? 4 pieces, and they're probably 20s, which would have given you 40 more feet. 2 20s, 2 per side, down to the Boulder Buddha Hayes bumper. Awesome. Awesome exploration and an awesome discovery here in Readsboro, Vermont. We're not done by any means. Let's keep going. All right, we're on our way back, and I just thought I'd show you a close-up of this stonework, because I know there's a faction of you guys and gals out there that watch that love the stonework like I do. You can just about see the roof of Sam. That's my finger. Don't get scared. All right, so you can see Sam there and the road. The upper tracks are right there, and they cross right here, and they go up that way towards the main line. And what we're looking at here, I said, hey, what's going on here? These rails were pushed with some sort of heavy equipment, a front end loader, a bulldozer, when they put this road in. Charlie said to Bill, just get them damn rails out of the way. And they pushed them, and they're all squeezed together here. But they do. Try to hold you down low so you can see it. They do come back right here, and they start to regain their normal gauge width. This is not very easy to walk on. Somebody has cleared this recently. Here and here. And when they cut, they only cut about 6 inches off the ground, which is horrible for walking. Here it goes. We're walking toward the main line, HT and W. This is that industrial spur in Readsboro, Vermont. We're walking toward the main line to see what's left, if anything, of the juncture of this main line. I'm sorry, this siding into that main line. We still have it here. You know, I bet this is where some guy I was talking to a while back was telling me, hey, when you go do the HT and W, there's all kinds of rails left. Well, yes and no. This is the industrial spur. So my question is, wait, I'm asking the question, you're not asking me. That's a good thing. That's right. Here's the end. Right here. So, this is main line. That's going south. This is HT and W. Okay, original road bed, HT and W, going north to Readsboro, going south to Hoosac Tunnel. Okay, this right here is that 5-foot plus gauge siding, industrial siding. So, at what point, I'm asking a hypothetical here, chime in. At what point and how, what was the mechanism, because they did not use a Ramsey transfer machine, at what point did they transfer from the 4-foot 8.5 to this 5-foot 3? Here we are once again digging. There it is, right there. So you get that one and this one. That's 5 foot 3.5 inches across to across. I do believe Terry's got the end right here. I'm sorry for jumping around with the camera. That's the end. So this end, and then the other end is right up there. So that's the industrial siding. that goes on down and switches and goes on down, way down into the valley down there by the Deerfield River to that plant. Cool stuff. All right, so main line, HTW, industrial spur, highway road. Came up here. We got a fence, barbed wire, not that old, but old enough. And it goes from this point into rock. Now, who in their right mind, besides a railroad, would put up a fence? Terry, I want you to peek at this. Look at the sharpened point. I'm gonna spin it so you guys can see. That's the sharpened point that they would drive.
That was in the ground.
They would drive these posts in. Yeah, that's the bottom, obviously. But why would they put a fence here? So we were thinking as we were falling, why would they have put a fence here? Here's another post, another one, goes all the way over to that rock ledge. Why would they fence this off? Possibly because of this cable. There's all kinds of cable buried around here. There, wire. Now, we were thinking this here is about the widest point. This is about the widest point where the two lines, the 5'3" and the 4'8.5" main line, would have converged. So if any place fits the scheme, it would be right here in this area to have some sort of a crane, derrick,
Ramsey
transfer to get the parts and pieces off of the main line and onto the industrial spur. We are out here having known nothing about this, but we're conclusively throwing our heads together and seeing what we come up with. That's what we do here at Lost Rail Beds. Somebody said you should call it lost brain cells, but that's another story for another time. You can almost tell by looking at it, this is 5'3.5". It's really, really wide. And yeah, so this is where we think there was some sort of anchored to that stone, some sort of an industrial, even just an Armstrong type of a, hey guys, all pull and lift up the heavy thing and transfer it, swing it over from one flat car to another. I'll spin the camera and say, what say you? All right, we decided to keep walking on up north towards Readsboro. Whoa! Look at this. It ends here. There's 3 on this side, or there could be more. I bet those are upside down rails. That's the bottom flange part that we're looking at. And this is some sort of a bridge culvert thing here. Sure it is. Look at here. Oh, but that's corrugated iron. That's not that old. Stonework there. We got stonework here.
Yes, This is upside down rail.
It's upside down rail, Terry says. You guys got to start listening to him more. All you naysayers. Wow. He's got it. Yep. Upside down rail on an upside down camera screen. Oh. More stonework on this side. Look at that. All right, let's get to the real hint of our mystery here. Up this way a little farther, we saw a bridge, an actual bridge. And there's Sam. He just burned 79 cents worth of gas sitting there. So, do you want to walk, or you want to get in Sam and drive, or do you want to walk? What should we do? All right, so I'm walking. Terry said, I'll hop into the safety of the heated seats in Sam and drive. And there he goes. Bye, Terry. All right, all kidding aside, here we go. We're walking up the bed, northbound, just south of the village of Readsboro, Vermont, the original northern terminus of the Hoosac Tunnel and Wilmington. I guess at that point it was just the Hoosac Tunnel in Readsboro. I don't know. But I think up around that pile of debris up there, nice little cherry trees cut. Oh, he's beeping the horn. He did that traditional beep, 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 beep. All right, let me turn you off and I'll turn you back on when we get there. Aha. So this proves my theory. Whoever was in charge of shutting this railroad down, look at these big bumpers. And look at those two bumpers. I guess they don't want you to walk across this old gem anymore. Look at that. Wow. Oh, there he is down there. He's checking his stocks. Buy, sell. Let's go down there, shall we? Here we are. We were up there. Now we're down here. How about that? Yeah. Iron girder. It's just ties on girders. Make a good band name, wouldn't it? Ties on girders. Huh. This is a pretty cool spot here. Yep. Got the angled cross bracing. One section, two sections, three sections. This has been all upgraded with cement. Now concrete is when you pour it solid. Cement is when you chink and use small pieces. That's the difference, the consistency. Cement versus concrete. Oh, look it. They put two more Buddha Hayes bumpers and another one here. They just do not want you to go on top of or under this bridge. Let's see. What do you think? What year? I'm going to guess probably 20s. I'm going to guess 20s. This was originally wood, no doubt. And I'm going to guess 20s. Okay. He's doing a lot of buying and selling. Alright, we just came from down there. The rail bed was actually the road we were driving on, and it veers off here. And we found all of these cool old ruins here. Again, we're not from Readsboro. We don't claim to be from Readsboro. I don't know if we've ever been in Readsboro, but going that way looks like a big sluiceway of a canal type thing here, and it goes underneath what I'm not quite sure is the rail bed or not. It might be. A lot of ruins. A lot of big beautiful pieces of stone, and we're hoping to get up into the village. We haven't been there yet, and possibly find out if there's a historical society or a book on Readsboro. We can find out what it was. But there's all these little nooks and crannies and grottos and caves and tight spots. Wow. Look at that.
It's a floodgate mechanism.
That's all iron grating right there. Comes from across the road. It's down underneath us. There's a wow, way down there. Here's a big maybe a switch throw or something. You would throw a big arm one way or another and control the flow of water down through here. But look at that, gorgeous. That's solid rod right there. That's not a pipe. Then it goes on over this way, And it's just incredible. Was this a mill? Was this... Wow. Yes, this was wow. What was this? Uh-huh. Ah, look at that big iron culvert right there. That's got to be 12 foot around. Holy smokes. This big gem right here. Oh yeah, this was a big industrial complex of waterways. Wow. Right there is a sheer drop. Sheer 90-degree drop down to the Deerfield River. Holy cow. This is not a place you want to bring your young offspring. That's for sure. There's more over there. It's a big series of sluiceways and dams and dikes and culverts and piping that lead down to the Deerfield. Ooh, baby. A big piece of iron culvert right there. Wow. That second piece over there, that looks like from here poured concrete. This closer piece right here is stone. Mr. Finger's got a helper today, 2 of them. Wow. And we are probably a couple hundred feet if you went straight out and then dropped down to the Deerfield. We're 200 feet above it. Yeah, this is definitely not a place you want to bring young kids. Ooh boy. All right. I got to get back up out of here. So of course Terry says, Russ, you got to get over here. Look what I found. And I said, whoa, a paint can and a wheelbarrow. He said, no, look at the millstone. My goodness, look at that gem. 6 foot, 7 foot?
5.
No, bigger than 5. 1, 2, 3. I bet it's 6. I bet it's all of 6. And it's got to be, holy smoke, it's got to be 2 foot thick. Wow. Look at that perfect square peg.
Yeah, it is 6 foot.
I bet it's 6 foot.
Yeah.
Terry's right. We gotta listen to him more often. This is where this was a grinding mill right here. All these ruins. Look at the big beams over there, the through rods. Wow. And here I thought he was talking about that wheelbarrow. Bricks, building. There's where critters live under there. Let's see. I'm gonna put you under there. You tell me what you see. What do you guys see? Anything? A beaver didn't come out and bite my hand. That's a good thing. Oh boy. Wow. If you guys love old industrial ruins, this is one of the places you have to try to visit. The scaling and flaking on that iron piece. Just incredible. This was it. This was the building. where the mill wheel was. Wow. This was all tied in with the railroad because the bed came right in on the road right above this. Part of the commerce. Hey, Mr. Terry, I got us another one. So I'm looking at this one from the side, looking at those knurl marks and the roundness. Look at that.
The other half of that is up there.
The other half is up there, he says. Look at that. Let's go see the other half. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Right there. Oh, it's actually not even all of it. Look at that. There's that wheelbarrow again. It was a Jackson. Ah, this stone is just beautiful. This stone is just beautiful, just laying here. You know, I remember years back watching an episode of, what was the name of that TV show? Oh yeah, American Pickers. And I think they had gone out and found a stone for William Shatner. And I forget the dollar amount, but oh my goodness, this one would be 10 times that. Wow. But you know what? It's here and it belongs right here. I'm gonna try something here, kids. We're way up above here. I'm gonna lay down on this edge. Oh, that is a sheer 90-degree drop off, and it drops down a good 80 to 90 feet. And way down there, looks like the remnants of another smaller stone. Wow. I'm getting a little anxious laying here. I'll hold you way out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Don't drop the camera, Russ. Ooh, baby. Now I gotta get up. All right, here's my public service announcement. See these little stones here? They may look little on your computer screen sitting in your comfy chair. They are probably 2 to 3 ton stones. They're probably half the size of Volkswagens. Maybe not 3 ton. Definitely more than a ton. They're probably close to 2,000 pound stones. And they are so precariously perched that if you were to walk down here and one of them fell on you, nobody would ever hear from you again. So please, 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 please be careful at these sites. Okay, just a message from your Uncle Russ as he climbs back up. Looking for cool stuff. Yeah, we're here mid-April, actually closer to later April, mid-April, and it's snowing out. So there's no worries about snakes yet, but snakes love these kind of spots too. So be careful. Right there. There is the canal ditch. Diverted water would come down through, go right past Terry, and through a series of filters. I'm not sure, but that bridge right there, I don't know if that was railroad or not. And it came through a series of filters, dropped down, and it got narrower and narrower and steeper, and that causes a Venturi effect, which would in turn turn those wheels and grind whatever it was and mill whatever it was that they were milling and or grinding. Okay, one theory is the rail bed definitively was the road that we drove on the last shot or two in the hyperspeed, and we do believe it comes across underneath Mr. Sam, and it's that flat gradient right there where that telephone pole is, and it goes behind the pier of this canal culvert drainage ditch. And there's a railroad tie over there thrown over. Yes, Terry, there's railroad ties thrown over the side. I do believe you are correct. Once again, listen to Uncle Terry. Okay, came up a little farther. That is the village of Readsboro, Vermont. Right there. Stone and concrete. Concrete on top, stone on bottom. Concrete newer, stone older. I am standing on right here the concrete, and down there that's the stone. This here is the concrete. This was the rail crossing. There must have been one heck of a trestle over this river. Can you imagine? All the way out and over. I gotta get back off the edge because there's a really steep wind. There's railroad ties down there. Must have tossed them over the edge. And this is the crossing right here. It goes right about where that loader and that dump truck is. Winds its way back on around to where we were just sitting by the canal and the sluiceways. Here's remnants of old ties right here, and here, and here, and here. Yep, definitively the rail bed of the HT&W. It clearly crossed over into the village itself, so now we need to go find the station. But on my way out I found this piece of rail right here, stuck in the ground, and I don't see anything else down there. There's the flange of the concrete one right there, but pretty wild, treacherous. Oh, there's another one there, another piece of rail in the ground right there. This one right here. Okay, we came up a little farther, actually into town, found this road sign. We were basically following where we thought it might be, and boom, bang, bam, sure enough, railroad alley. Question is now, was this building, or is this building built on the footprint of an old engine house? My goodness. Look at this railroad alley, they call this. So was this the bed? Or was the bed to my right and down at the next level down, the next grade down? This is T111 on this side. It's a poured concrete T111, rusty, crusty, brown on this side. But why would it be in this shape of this curvature? Now this building here has got some age to it. Stone foundation. This building here, we got sliding doors. They are more the size of 1, 2, 3, more the size for trucks, for vehicles, than trains, and they're too low to the ground. But we are stone foundation here, up to stone foundation here, up to this last sliding door. From this last sliding door right here on up is either new building or they replace the crumbling stone. what we need to do is get to the end of this building. This is cool. We need to get to the end of this building and see now, even this one, we're walking downhill slightly, but even that one's not quite that's somewhat believable for a boxcar, but I'm thinking more vehicular sliding doors. I just don't see it. What I see is, look at this side of the building. That's original. T111's brand new. Don't focus on that, because that's been upgraded. Look at that oil fill. Look at that oil fill and vent. Fill and vent. How in the heck are you supposed to reach that? I drove oil truck for 34 years. That's why I see things like that. No way. Nope. Or was the railroad? No, the railroad was not at this level. The railroad was definitely at that street level we just walked on, Mr. Terry. I'm gonna bet our dwindling reputation on it. Oh, here's some of the older part of the building now. Let's look at this. Now we're talking. Now we're talking, buddy. We've got crossbuck doors, we've got stone foundation, we've got the old pressed tin decorative faux brick stuff for siding. This was definitely a railroad building. Yes, it was. Foundations all over the place. We got Deerfield River down there. We've got yet another example of some brick columns.
Stone foundation all the way to the end.
Stone foundation all the way to the end. They just did. Hey, look at this. A fire plug. Now, how's a male dog supposed? What does he do? Lay down to pee on that one? Yeah, this is called Railroad Alley for a reason. This could quite possibly, we got to go back and look on our Google machines. Look at that original stonework right there holding up the street. This is the rail bed right here, folks. We're throwing that dart at the wall and I'm pretty sure it's going to stick. Railroad alley right here. Railroad building of some sorts. First instincts looking at it says it was an engine house of sorts. Tracks would have run right on through it, right on out, and continued on up into the north part of town. All right, Sam awaits. We need to still make it to Wilmington, Vermont today, which is only a 15-20 minute ride from here. So let's go. We made it to Wilmington, Vermont, and we were walking on the bed of the HT&W. Yeah, got some telegraph poles, some cross arms. There's another cut-off one right there. We're on it. Let's see. Terry's in high gear. Clearly, definitively, the Hoosac Tunnel in Wilmington. They've turned it into a utilities corridor of sorts. Got old septic and sewer lines running through it now. Every now and then down there by that green standpipe is one. But they've got a rough and tough, rough and ready walking trail here. Here's these old cross arms that I shot before. And there's the Hoot Toot Whistle sign. We're gonna go down into town and find the bed down there and find those buildings. That was the lumber yard and possibly an old GLF or an Agway. And then we're gonna head west on Route 9 toward Bennington and call it a day. Yep, here's a piece right here. Low boy. That's original. We're on the bed here. Let's get this into perspective here. So right down through there comes the bed. Right down past here, right by this piece of rail. Up in there is a little walking trail. We found a switch stand base. We found a switch bar, 5 or 6 pieces of short rail rather, and what looks like a siding. We're still walking on the bed here, and we're coming into town from west to east on the HT and W here in Wilmington, which is the northern terminus of Hoosac Tunnel in Wilmington. And we are proposing to say that this building is probably planted itself firmly on the rail bed. Rail bed went right into town here. Those red buildings, there was a lumber yard. We'll go down and get you a shot of that. Agway or GLF at one point or another. Yeah, this is it. That house down yonder is where we were. That's the gray metal building we just walked around. Rail bed comes in from in front of that house, right through where that metal building is, right through this suburban propane, which used to be Agway. And then you've got this row of deliciously painted red and white trimmed, nice atypical New England buildings here. Now, you step back this way and you do a quick shot of this building complex here. You're going to notice the end of this one with the single window and the 2 double windows. And you're going to notice especially that chimney, that double window up there, that extension, gable roof that comes out there, and that connector in between. And that's going to pretty much line up with this old photograph we've got, which means I'm standing just about where the station was. There would have been a rail bed in front going down that way in front of these buildings, and there would have been a rail line in back of the station. The station sat this way, basically the same way as those buildings are sitting. They all sat in the same direction. The station was right here, and there was a rail that went behind that building that probably fed and serviced what we're assuming was some sort of a lumber yard. Now, we did hear from some nice neighbors that stopped by while we were out here that said this used to be called Deerfield Valley Supply. Right now, standing here, that means little, but we will investigate that further. So, photograph we've got pretty much lines up these 2 buildings right about here, because they're actually ancillary buildings in the back of the photograph of the train station. This pretty much is it. Did the rails end right out there by that green fence? More than likely, because right there is a really sharp drop off down into the stream that goes separates the village into 2 parts. These were railroad buildings. The station was right here, and this is the northern terminus of the Hoosac Tunnel and Wilmington. It's been a long cold day. We've been snowed on, and we're gonna start heading for home. There's one more spot we might stop. Thanks for watching this episode of Lost Trailbeds on the Hoosac Tunnel and Wilmington, Readsboro and Wilmington locations up in Vermont. We had fun doing it. Hope you had as much fun watching it. Stay tuned for the next one. Catch you then. Thanks.